The Fast and Furious 8. Fast and Furious 8. Fast 8. Furious 8. Furiosa 8. Do you get it? Because Charlie's Theron, you know? Mad Max, Fury Road. Hello and welcome back to Meerkat Cruise. Yeah, basically the 8th film in the Fast and Furious franchise, if you didn't get that from the title. Basically Dom, our main lead, played by Vin Diesel, has gone rogue and turned his back on family. Or the family, I should say. The family. But this is all because of Cipher, played by Charlize Theron. And we don't quite know why, because it's all left in mystery. Now, it's pretty much a cliche to say that these movies are just fun, and that they know they're fun, and that's it, that's all they need to be. But the thing is, that's true. Like, for example, with the opening with Vin Diesel using nitrous, driving backwards with his car on fire, this is what you kind of have to expect going into the films. And if you do expect that, you'll be rewarded in a really fun way. Not just entertainment. I think this opening scene does really well because it actually sets up clearly who the good guys are in this. It also sets up the insane setting of the film. Dom, played by Vin Diesel, has gone rogue in this film for mysterious reasons that we don't find out until halfway through the film, which I was kind of iffy about because he's the main guy. He's the guy we're meant to root for. It kind of takes us behind him and make us follow him into this whole situation. But we don't quite know what's going on. He knows more than we do as the audience, and I got a bit confused with what was going on half the time. No spoilers. When he is doing things against the family and the family are involved, he doesn't really have a response to like what's going on. Like, he's betrayed them. When you watch it, he's just a bit too stale in the face, and he just kind of like, he just kind of looks angry as if he's doing the job for Charlize Theron's character. He doesn't really have that sense of guilt and betrayal that he's obviously put on top of these characters. I think he's just basically straight up betraying them. But he doesn't really, I don't know, I just feel like he should have showed a bit more guilt towards having to do all these things in front of the family, for example, but he doesn't. Took me out of it for a moment, but you know, this is Fast and the Furious, for example, so who cares? Character-wise, The Rock again makes an appearance in these films, and he is brilliant. He's so over the top. He's just basically The Rock with his volume turned up to 10. It's like he's proper buff and everything, and he's just breaking things off walls with his bare hands and moving things that are impossible in real life to move. And it's just like, I buy it, because like the rules are totally different in this sort of universe of the Fast and the Furious. Like, I mean, in the 5th one, they raced cars with a bank vault attached to behind them, and they were able to drive that just carefree around the streets. If you remember that was totally absurd and totally unrealistic, but for some reason you kind of let it go with this series. As well as this, there is Jason Statham returning, and he has some great chemistry with The Rock. Not any relationship chemistry, not any lovey-dovey love chemistry, but just friendship. Like, there's chemistry between them. Like, you know, it's funny, it's humorous, and it's kind of believable at the same time. There's rumours that they might be getting their own film together, spin-off film, and you know, I'm not really against that. I'd see it. There was a lack of car chases in this film. They had it in the intro, which was very Fast and Furious to me. There was some scenes involving Dom going up against the family. It involved cars. And this series does a lot of creative ways of getting around situations and involving cars, and I love it for that. Like, it's just fun to watch. But they did have a lack of car racing, I felt. I don't know, I just expected a bit more adrenaline-fueled car chases, or I don't know, I guess it kind of works for what they were going for. I felt that the film was incredibly entertaining for the first half, I'd say. Around about the second half, it began to slow down a bit, and then when it got into its third act, which totally changes the location, it really came to a halt for me. It might pick up for some people. There's some really over-the-top moments in there, as you want in these films. It's a 2-hour 16-ish minute film, that's including credits. I just feel like the third act felt like the longest for some reason. The Rock does some pretty crazy stuff in the third act, involving him hanging out the side of a car, casually pushing something that should be impossible to just do, but it's what you want from these movies, basically. Charlize Theron is alright in it. She just plays a cliched villain who just basically says psychological facts towards Dom the whole time, trying to like get in his brain and stuff, just basic stuff that you already know. Like, she recites quotes and stuff about human nature and just stuff that you come to expect from these type of villains, but The film also surprisingly does have a bit of an emotional weight to it. Around the second half, you kind of find out why Dom might be doing this sort of thing, and it really got to me. I was like, oh, I'm so on his side, I'm so on his side. Come on, Dom. Yeah, I felt that the last scene involving this whole setup was a bit rushed, and I would have liked this scene to have played out a bit longer towards the end of it, but who am I to complain? I mean, I thought the third act was too long as it is, so I felt that some of the side characters were a bit rubbish. I have had this problem with the other Fast and Furious films I have seen. I guess some people like them, because that would explain why they keep coming back. Like, for example, there's two comedic relief characters who just get on my nerves, and I personally found that the film was funny in its own right, but it wasn't through its dialogue or characters. It was through the insane stunts and like absurdly clever ways of getting around things. That was funny to me, not the jokes. And I mean that in a good way. The stunts made me laugh in a good way, if you know what I mean, because it's just brilliant. It's absurdly brilliant, basically. And there was also the British chick with the afro. She can't act. She really can't act. The music as well, I know it's part of the Fast and Furious type style and films that they go for, and maybe the target audience like this sort of music, but it's not my style personally, and I don't think the songs are very good. I know you couldn't really put any more traditional sort of just basic music in there because it totally moved. Like, you couldn't really put David Bowie in there, for example. It wouldn't really work, I guess. But I don't know, it's hard to watch for me when it tries to be so cool and yet it has songs like that. But like I said, it might work for you, but it just doesn't work for me personally. Yeah, you just go see it and just have a bit of fun, you know. It's a bit too long, the third act does drag, but the first half is great. It has some hilariously fun moments. The car stuff is insane in a good way. I like Dom, he's a really compelling guy, even though he does have a few moments where I'm a bit like, okay. The Rock's great in it. Jason Statham's pretty good in it. Some people might like him a bit more than I did. He had one really cool moment that was pretty funny. Yeah, sorry for the short review, I didn't really get into too much about it, but it's a fun film, like I said. It does have its issues. Anyway, my overall rating for Fast and Furious 8 is 7 out of 10. Yeah, not bad. I wouldn't say it was a strong 7. Weaker side of the 7. It leans more towards a 6.9, but it's still a 3.5 out of 5 for me. Expect craziness though, and in a good way. Don't take it too seriously, and I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked it. I know this wasn't a brilliant review. It's the first video I've made since getting back from the Easter holidays. My room's basically just not ready. Thanks for watching. Hope you at least kind of enjoyed it. And if you subscribe, then maybe I can see you in the next video. Bye.